So welcome for today, and
Yes.
let us explore more on your journey. I'm so excited to hear from you. What have you learned? We have discussed a lot, as I said last week, about how can we integrate, right? How can we integrate your two interests? You have interest in music, also you have interest in Ayurvedic. How can these two both also have got healing property on its own? Very powerful. Music has got its own healing property, and then these herbs, this medicine also have got their own healing property. How can we bring these two
Yes.
into one, marry them together, make these two marry together? How can you marry together so that they
Yes.
can function not alone, but they can function as one, as husband, wife, one purpose? How can we marry them? So
A
I am
great
sure.
synergy. Yeah, a great synergy will create
Yes.
by doing
So
that.
I am sure, uh, I am sure that your research has give you a lot of knowledge on this.
Yes, ma'am. So I have done. I first I thought in this respect, and when I just went and watched some clips on cymatics and sound. So earlier I did not know that yes, this music and sound, yes, this sound is effective. Power of sound has some power, but does it has power of healing? I was not. I did not take much interest in that area. Yes. So just I watched a few videos and I gone through. So that is a deeper and deeper science and technology behind that.
Yes,
So quantum and property of all that, and this universe has created through the sound and some sound. So many things. Then it was very huge and vast topic. It was not small, but it was very
yes,
vast.
yes,
Then
yes,
I started thinking to connect it, and our emotions are also connecting with this sound. Then what thought was coming in my mind? Mm, every our music system, in music are in two parts. There is one is rhythm, which goes in beats, rhythm and tempo, and other part is melody part, and melody part contains altogether 12 notes throughout the world. Wherever we go, either we denote it in sare gama, and in western culture we denote it with a b c d and like that, a to g and c sharp and like this. So 12 notes are there altogether, and they repeat, then they repeat. All these 12 notes are repeating. So so many things are, just a big happening happens. And Ayurveda, what is the connectivity with these 12 notes? Then I found somewhere, I was reading in some book, then I found that very very at the earliest most, when demon and divine, there was a fight between demon and divine, and there was a churning on the ocean of milk. Then two precious things came out. One was nectar, and other is just opposite to that nectar. So fight was to get the nectar. Who will get that nectar? Because getting that nectar, someone has to get immortal. So running behind that immortality, that uh, fight between divine and demon was happening, and there was some Dhanvantari, who is supposed to be the king and father of Ayurveda. He took that part which came out, that nectar part which came out from that churning, and Dhanvantari then ran away, taking that part. Uh, so, and then out of that nectar part, all the Ayurveda and Charak Samhita and so many um, scriptures had been written on Ayurveda. So Dhanvantari is said to be the father of Ayurveda. And
Oh,
in remembrance of that, in remembrance of that incident, what is happening, especially in India, we celebrate Kumbh, Kumbh Mela, which happens every 12 years. It appears in every 12 years, and these happens in four different places. And the foremost place, Mahakumbh, which we say Mahakumbh, it happens, it is celebrated every 12 years in Prayagraj, Allahabad, where three rivers are interconnecting, Ganga,
okay.
Yamuna, and invisible Saraswati. So
Mm-hmm.
that Kumbh Mela is celebrated in memory of that Kumbh. That was Kumbh, part is called Kumbh in Dhanvantari. So every 12 years, and then I connected it with 12 notes, 12 kinds of behavior, and our body
Oh,
is very sensible. Our
yes,
body is very
yes,
highly sensible,
yes.
and in what notes, which particular note can sensitize it, our
To a
body, our
particular,
each cell,
to
our every
particular
cells,
part of the body. Each particular node
particular
also.
part of the body.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Beautiful.
particular
Very
parts of
beautiful.
body.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So, and so there are in Indian music, there are ragas, which I gone through studies. I am not in very good in practical part, but in
Mm.
theoretically, I gone through all the Indian music. So
Mm.
uh, there are so many, more than hundreds and hundreds ragas, and those ragas, uh, all these out of these 12 notes, 7 or 8 notes are coming, and they are composed with some thought and some combination of those uh, notes, and some particular notes are prohibited in that particular rag. These two or three notes are prohibited because if they we play those notes, they can damage the rag, whole rag.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, uh, there are one note which is called, this is the prominent note for this raga. Like
Okay.
if you have heard Rag Darbari Kanhada. Rag Darbari
Mm.
Kanhada, it is said that dha, Komal Dhaivat. I don't relate it with Western note, but that is dha. And Komal Dha, white Dha, is the prominent note, and that goes in every playing here and there, but every time, in every seconds, that we push that Dha, and it makes that rag eminent, uh, effective. So that is called Wadi, prominent note. And if some Dha, what is the property of Dha? Then I have to study it. I have that matter in that. So then this particular rag, if any music is played in particular Darbari Kanda, this Dhaivat prominent note, then what kind of healing it will be effective
Okay.
in. So
Okay.
likewise, all these 12 notes in some one note is prominent, and another note is semi-prominent. So there are two
Okay.
notes in every raga which make it beautiful, further beautiful.
Mm.
So I have gone through this aspect because in Indian aspect, it connects to our people's emotion, and
Mm.
very fond of, so many people are very fond of Indian music. And yeah, it fascinates Indian music also. If we listen some raga, particular rag, and there is time also, determined time, which rag is played better at which time.
Mm-hmm.
So every 2 hours, our whole 24-hour cycle is divided into 12 periods, 12 musical periods. Every 2 hours it changes. from 6
Okay.
to 8, then 8 to 10, to 10 to 12, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So these 12 notes, these become prominent in particular ragas, and that particular rag is well played and well heard. It it is very it becomes sweeter and sweeter at that
Mm-hmm.
particular time zone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
opposite
okay.
of that, and opposite time, it becomes harsh. It looks
Oh,
harsh,
oh,
like
oh.
malkons. Rag, for example, rag malkons, it is especially played at midnight. At midnight, and rag bhairavi is played early morning. Rag bhairav and rag bhairavi, these ragas are especially played at morning time. And yes, that time, that particular time, they are harmonious with nature. They get harmonious with nature, and if something is harmonious with nature, then
Hmm.
it is harmonious to us also.
Oh, ha, 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 ha,
So
ha. Beautiful.
now I want you to add something here.
Very beautiful research. And see, we didn't know. If you were not to really research, it is there, but then we do not know, right? So last week also we said that let us not target everything. From what you found,
Hmm.
these 12 notes, there is also a 12th circle, 12th cycle in the body, as you said. 12th cycle, which is, it keeps reversing, and then each notes, each music, each melody resonates to different parts, particular part of the body, particular cell. Is that what you said, right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
now, at the beginning, later on, after you work, you become an expert with this. You can work with so many issues, many problems, health problems. But
Yes. Yes.
right now, as we have also said last week, we'll just will attack one thing. We'll focus on one thing. That is digestive issues. I
Mm.
think health gap. Yeah, the
Yeah.
digestive system.
Yeah.
We'll focus with that. So, from your research that you have found out all this sound and the music, the Indian music with this Ayurveda, see Indian music, both the Indian music with your Ayurveda, it will match so well because it is
Yes.
from the same root, same root. As I said, music has got its own very powerful properties in healing by itself. Also, these
Yes.
herbs called Ayurvedic also have got its own very sacred. It's not just, just pick up any herbs or something like that. It is there in the scripture even. So it is very sacred thing, both the music and also these two. What we want to do is marry them together so that they become stronger. Instead of alone, doing the work alone, we marry them together and make use of them to heal us faster. So now you know already what sickness, first of all, what area of the body we are targeted at this moment. Digestive system. Because
Yeah.
as you said last week, it is it is the root of everything. If you are not having a good digestive
Yes.
system, good health there, that can come out with so many other symptoms.
Mm.
So if we treat the
So
symptoms,
many
we
other
don't
elements.
treat,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so many other ailments, yeah, symptoms. So if we treat the symptoms and we ignore the roots, it doesn't help really. It will be just temporary help. For example, if I have
Yeah.
yeah, I have again digestive problem. It may show up like skin problem, right? It may show up some acne or pimples, this that. So what happened is in life
Hmm.
we forget to go to the root. We try, let's say I have a lot of pimples on my face. I try to do something on my face, but I don't go to the root.
Hmm.
So what happened? I may get relief for a while. I may get relief for a
Hmm.
while on my face because I'm treating it, but the root is still not clear.
Hmm.
The wound is there.
Okay.
The germs is there or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
microbes is there. It's not clean. It's not clear. I'm not taking care of the root. So again, it will show up again. The
Hmm.
same problem, it will repeat itself.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
so what we want here is not to treat the symptoms. We study the symptoms. We study the symptoms, but we go to the root. So the main thing what we are focusing here is our digestive system. That is very clear already. Now you have gone through, you said you have got 12, what is one, 12 ragas. Is it ragas or 12 notes? 12 notes, right?
Yeah.
So now,
Notes.
so now you have to really identify which of
Hmm.
them is so specifically good to heal this part.
It is, ma'am. It is documented there. It is documented
Okay,
there. I have to
okay,
go up to that level. It is,
okay,
it is there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you found out these two, this is health. Okay, we have already recognized it. This is the area that we want to focus right now. Later, as I said, you can expand. Once you are so good at this, you can expand with other problems like cancer, like so many other sicknesses. Like so, you can focus on
Yeah.
those also. You can expand yourself. But right now, let us just focus in this one and then bring that music. Now how will you marry these two? According to you, how will you marry these two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just for my sake of my viewers and just if you introduce yourself, little expand what methodology you use because for long time you are in that field are healing people and certainly it's very good for our well-being. So if you add something for my viewers and just my
Yeah,
curiosity.
so for me it will be certainly yes, both of us in the, let's say, in the same niche about health. You are also for health, I am also for health, well-being, but our approach to that is little different. There are so many approaches, you can
Okay.
call them models. It is very different. For you, what you want to focus right now is to use the healing property of music and Ayurvedic, right? But for me,
Yeah, yeah.
my model is using your own power that you already have in the body, your words, recognizing it, your emotions, because a lot of thoughts and emotions are the one that creating
Hmm.
the feeling, and then through the feelings,
Yeah.
then so many things are happening in our body. And for me,
Yes, yes.
every sickness, again, I am also going to the root. Every sickness, those are symptoms. Again, the symptoms. So
Yeah.
through the symptoms, I am also going to the root, meaning the history of it, going back and start seeing the what is the origin of this sickness. What is the
Yes.
origin of
Finding to the root cause
finding the root cause?
this particular
And
problem.
how do I do
Yeah.
that? It's always, um, how do I do that? It is always listening to your own body, listening to your own body,
Yes.
observing your own thoughts,
Yeah.
observing your own words, the words that you speak to yourself, then the action that you give to
Hmm.
yourself, all to self. Everything for me, it begins with you, and the result lies with you, not with anybody. Result or the medicine is not outside of you, it is always here. You create it, you
It is
have
here.
it there.
Yes.
It is always here
Yeah.
inside me. So I am here not to give you really a medicine from me, but to help you clear off what is that blocking you,
Okay. Okay.
not able to make use of that medicine which is already there within you. So for
Fantastic.
me,
Fantastic.
yeah, for me is I'm journeying with people who have any problem for that matter. It may look like
Hmm.
it is outside. It may look that it is outside, but remember, outside thing only triggers what it is already here inside.
Yeah.
We may take help from
So.
others from outside. Yes, we do take help. But unless
Yeah.
we find out what it is here, that help
Yeah.
may be just pouring water in the plastic. It won't really
Oh, very
sink
nice.
in. Yeah. So that is why it is everything is here. I always believe everything is here. So how do we take care this one? The relationship that I have with my body, the relationship that I have with
Yes,
myself is what I am extending to everybody else outside of me. Yeah.
that's very good.
So
That's good. Mm.
yeah.
So help
So
these people, help them to explore and find the root cause and not which is blocking that thing. Uh, so they explore it by themselves, and you help them to
it is, yeah, explore by themselves. I help them to journey. How do they explore? Let's say with emotions.
how to.
Emotions.
Yeah.
All of us have emotions. Some, they are not good
Yes.
nor bad. Emotions are emotions. All
Oh,
emotions are
emotion. These
emotions.
are
They are
neutral.
they are there to
Neutral.
serve
Neutral.
us. They are there to serve us
Yes.
for different purpose.
Exactly.
But at times there
Different.
are
Yeah.
heavy emotions which, instead of serving us, they control us. When we
Hmm.
don't know how to channelize it, when we don't know how to put them in a proper place at a proper time, we become slave of them. For example,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's say anger. Anger is a very
Yeah.
strong emotion. Anger is a very strong emotion, and the energy of it, if it doesn't channelize it properly, it can becomes very dense energy. Dense, that
Hmm.
strong, but when it is buried
Hmm.
in the body, see, our emotion does not go out really, it is here in the body. If we suppress them in the body,
Yeah.
our cells
Oh.
get disturbed, our whole being gets disturbed, our system gets disturbed, and that's how our
Hmm.
body will become ill eventually. So
Due to
how
that
then,
anger.
due to
Due
the
to.
anger, that is just one emotion. So how then, because anger
Hmm.
is here to serve me, it is not against me.
Yeah.
It is for
Okay.
me, it is not against me. But if we run away from
Hmm.
it, the way we look, our perspective of it, first of all, it has to be very correct. Many a times when you hear about anger or anxiety, all of us wants to run away from it. We don't want to look at it, right? We are afraid
Hmm.
of anger, we are afraid of
Yeah.
anxiety, we are afraid of stress. We are so afraid of this because we label them
So,
as negative emotions. Yes.
so, ma'am, if you just clear it up, people and most of us, we just identify and say some emotions are negative emotions, some are positive emotions. People misunderstanding here.
See, for example,
Uh, these are not.
again,
Hmm.
yeah, again, anger. How anger is for us. You don't simply get angry when there is no reason. We get angry
Yeah.
whenever we feel helpless. The anger
Helpless.
comes
Yeah.
whenever we feel helpless. We feel like I don't get what I want. I want this, but I
Hmm.
don't meet this expectation. Supposing you ask your wife, let's
Okay.
say, okay, supposing you ask your
Hmm.
wife to cook a special meal for you, let's say to make for you a chicken biryani, nice chicken biryani,
Hmm.
and then due to some
Yeah.
reason, she's making fish curry for
Yeah.
you. You love
Oh.
chicken biryani, but for some reason she just bypass and then she just make a chicken a fish curry, right?
Oh.
So
I was
in
expecting
that case,
something else, and
you
she puts.
expect some, you go for the meal, so like that taste already, you imagine the taste of the chicken biryani, you were already whole mind is prepared for that, and when it is served, it is fish. It's not that because fish is not tasty, but because your perspective, your
Yes.
expectation is different. So you don't enjoy the
Hmm.
fish at that moment, right? You get upset.
Oh, that moment I miss. Yes,
You miss. You
I
will not
missed.
enjoy.
Then I will
you
miss that moment.
you'll miss the moment, and at the same
Exactly.
time, now what will you interpret in your head? What will you interpret in your head?
She
It
is not.
depends. You
She.
sometimes you may interpret that okay, she doesn't respect me. She doesn't understand me. She doesn't listen to me.
Yeah.
One time you may
Yes.
interpret like that inside your mind. You may not show it.
Hmm.
Somehow you are not pleased, but
Hmm.
you eat it somehow. Again, the second
But
time
yeah.
happens. Next time you ask something and something else
Hmm.
happens. Second time, already you are
Hmm.
getting your message is stronger to yourself. Okay, she doesn't love me and she doesn't respect me. It will go on in your mind.
Okay, and then
You'll get upset.
then
You'll
we
not
will connect
appreciate.
it with that
Yeah, you will connect it with the old one, with the
earlier
first one. Then the third
old one.
one.
Hmm.
Third time, if the same thing happens, now you will conclude
Yeah, it
always.
becomes cycle.
It becomes cycle, and you will not
Hmm.
say this is the third time. What happened? Our human mind will exaggerate, will say always. You never understood me and
Always,
you
yes.
never respect. Always will exaggerate it. This is the third time, not always, but our mind
No.
will like to exaggerate it always.
Yeah.
Then what happens now? You
Hmm.
feel it's not because of her wrong, but now you felt really helpless. You feel unrespectful. You felt like you are not heard.
Hmm.
You were not heard. She
Yes.
doesn't respect you, and I am not heard. I'm not important to her. That is the message underneath the anger. So you get angry with her.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yes.
like that, how will you cope up with that? If this is the thing, this is the pattern in your life. If anger is the pattern in your life and you always get angry, you just react. Getting angry and then throwing tantrum over your wife because of this, it is a reaction. It's not a response.
Yeah.
So how will you
It
instead
is
of
reaction.
react? Yeah. So instead of reacting to this situation and exaggerating it, ask always, how can I respond to it? So my work is to help you
Hmm.
to know, to learn, to respond instead of react. Because responding is so
Wonderful.
different to reacting. Reacting is very painful.
Hmm. Yes.
Blaming other person. I will not take responsibility what I feel when I react. But responding is I take things to see, I take time, I see what it is really, and then how will I respond to this, and how will both of us come together and discuss things so that these things will not repeat. So you get from her side also, she gets to explain this is the thing, and from your side also, this is the thing, and then you don't repeat it next time. Yeah. So
Yes. Yes.
because of the level, because of the understanding what is anger, we just want to throw away. So the underneath message here is we don't push away any emotions. We welcome them to be here. We don't push away, but we welcome them. Only by welcoming them, feel them, then only they will be able to release and go, and we will be free. Whatever we push
Yes.
or
Yes.
resist persists. We cannot push away something unless we get hurt
Yes.
of
Yes.
ourselves. If you
Very
come
wonderful.
against
If
me,
we
hey,
resist, they persist.
yeah, supposing
Yeah,
you
they
come against
persist.
me, you push me like this, I have to use all my strength to push you
Hmm.
away. Because you are coming against me, I have to push
Yeah,
against
as
you.
oh,
So I use my whole energy. But supposing
yes,
you
yes.
are yes. Now supposing you are coming to me with whatever you are having, and then saying, welcome. Just sit there,
There
welcome.
is law, ma'am. There is law. Oprah,
Yes,
ma'am, Oprah Winfrey always put that phrase that there is a law, third law of motion. Every
yes,
action has reaction, equal and
yes,
opposite reaction.
yeah.
So yes, very true.
So
If we push something and persist, then it will persist.
yes,
If
it
we
is
resist, it
painful.
persists.
It is painful to the one
Yeah,
who gives
painful.
and to the one who takes. Right? Because both of us are
Hmm.
using the same force. It will be very painful. But when you come and sit down, dine with me, sit here, let us talk. Because you are here for some reason.
Let us
So
talk.
what I teach people is to see emotions as not emotions, but as a person, as a child. Always look at it as a child. Emotions
Wow.
comes out with a big cry, a deep cry, to be heard, to be seen, to be loved. That's all. You give that, every emotions become so beautiful, and it is there to serve you. Unless you have anger, you cannot have, you know You become so helpless, and then anger is there to help you really draw a very clear boundary to know what you want and what you don't want. Always. So
So
be
beautifully,
in the
so
emotions.
beautifully explained. You explained it so beautifully. Yes.
Yeah, so I always look at emotions, any feeling in the body or anything that appears in me as a child, approach them as a mother child relationship, because
Oh.
that way you develop a lot of compassion, a lot of love, a lot of
Mm.
understanding. If a child cries you for
Mm.
something, or maybe the child fell down and then she gets hurt, I don't say, keep quiet, I told you, don't do that, keep quiet. I push away. It
Mm.
will hurt the child
Oh.
forever.
Yeah.
What do? I go, oh, what happened?
Yes.
Come here. You're okay. Okay. I just hug.
Mm.
Sometimes we don't need to say anything. I just pick the child, hug the child.
Mm.
Child is okay. She feels secure. She feels good. She has enough. She goes and play back. That's all with our emotions.
Yeah.
But if I beat
Yes. Yes.
the
Exactly.
child will get the hurt will linger forever. Same approach your
Yeah, we enjoy
emotion.
their naughty behaviors. Always we
That
enjoy their naughty
that
behaviors.
is that child is in all of us. So I always ask my client to approach the emotion as a child. A child who wants all of us. This is all of us. A child who wants to be seen, heard, protected, loved, and applause. Applause. We all love
Applause.
this.
Yeah.
If we don't learn to do this for ourselves, how can I expect it from others? And if
Friends, if you have enjoyed our conversation, please subscribe, share, and like. And to continue watching this episode, please find the part 2 in the following video.